is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. As expected, confirmed cases of coronavirus are continuing to increase.
For the first time, cases in Wisconsin have topped the 100 mark. Health departments across the state are reporting 117 positive tests. Within the last hour, a third case was confirmed in La Crosse County. That's out of roughly 1,600 people who have now been tested. Dane County has 23 cases, and tonight, Columbia County is reporting its first 2 cases. Milwaukee County has been hit the hardest. There are 47 cases there, and today we learned a doctor at Children's Wisconsin in Wauwatosa has tested positive. The hospital says the doctor was exposed to an individual who had the virus while traveling outside of the state. As a result, the Journal-Sentinel is reporting that 200 kids at the hospital are now being tested as a precaution.
Governor Tony Evers has ordered the scaling down of all child care centers throughout the state. Centers will not be able to operate with more than 10 staff members present at a time and cannot operate with more than 50 children at once. The size restriction will go into effect tomorrow morning. It'll stay in place for the duration of the public health emergency. Statewide closures are starting to have a negative impact on area nonprofits. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter is live with how groups are trying to serve their communities when they need some help themselves. Adam?
Eric, both nonprofits I spoke to today say they're already out thousands of dollars, even over the last couple of weeks, and now they're asking help from the public so that they can continue to serve.
This is like one aisle down of our stuff.
The aisles of the thrift store at Edgerton Community Outreach, normally full, now empty. The nonprofit's director of operations says it was not an easy choice.
We met with our board last night, and we talked about all of the reasons why we should, why we shouldn't. Honestly, heartbreaking having to close it, because we know that closing it is also closing some of our programs.
Programs like rent and utility assistance. The thrift store usually raises about $10,000 a month. Now that revenue is gone.
So we're putting it on carts.
Still, they're providing groceries to community members that need them.
Families are calling, and we are filling the orders over the phone, and then we're putting them out on our back porch for pickup.
In Janesville, the nonprofit group ECHO has seen an increased request for rent assistance after many have found themselves without a job temporarily.
Waitresses, bartenders who were affected last night by the shutdown of bars and restaurants at 5 p.m.
The group has already had to cancel 2 of its biggest fundraisers, giving them half the fundraising budget they normally have. Still, both nonprofits say they'll do whatever it takes to stay open.
Literally go walk through the pantry on our phones with families.
And stay serving. Both groups say right now their biggest need is monetary funding, but they also are in need of non-perishable food items. We've got links on our website, News 3 Now, channel3000.com, as to how to get in touch with both groups.
Adam, thank you. And new tonight, for the first time, 2 sitting U.S. congressmen have both tested positive for coronavirus. Republican Representative Mario Diaz-Balart of Florida and Utah Democratic Representative Ben McAdams. They both made those announcements this evening.
President Trump has signed a second coronavirus aid package tonight. It passed the Senate earlier on a 90-8 vote. The legislation will give billions of dollars for free coronavirus testing, paid sick leave, and expanding safety net spending. The bill first passed in the Democratic-controlled House on Saturday. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson was one of the 8 people who voted in opposition of this latest bill. He released a statement that says, although I want to provide immediate financial support to Americans and American businesses affected by the coronavirus, I voted no, because the Senate failed to address the major problem with the bill that was eminently flexible. Senator Johnson wanted an amendment that waived the waiting period for state unemployment benefits and would reimburse employers with fewer than 500 employees who voluntarily provided paid sick and family leave.
President Trump has signed the Defense Production Act to marshal the private sector in response to coronavirus. He and the U.S. Coronavirus Task Force held their daily press briefing this afternoon.
We've never had to even think in terms of these numbers, but we need millions of masks, and all of that will be ordered. We need respirators. We need ventilators is a big thing because it's a complex piece of equipment.
President also announced 2 hospital ships will be mobilized to ease the strain on healthcare systems. The USNS Comfort will be heading to New York. The Department of Housing and Urban Development also is providing immediate relief to renters and homeowners by suspending all foreclosures and evictions until the end of April. New tonight, the New York Stock Exchange is temporarily closing trading floors and moving to fully electronic trading next week. That announcement comes shortly after 2 people, a member of the trading floor and a New York Stock Exchange employee, both tested positive for COVID-19. Both individuals who tested positive were screened on Monday and not allowed to enter the building. And on top of that, it was another major sell-off today. All 3 indices dropping at least 5%. And with today's closing numbers, nearly all of what has been gained during President Trump's term in the White House is now gone.
The U.S. and Canada have agreed to take new precautions to help limit the spread. Today, both President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made the announcement.
Over the past few days, I've spoken to President Trump about what we can do to slow the spread of COVID-19. Deputy Prime Minister Freeland has been in touch with Vice President Pence and Secretary Pompeo. I just spoke to President Trump again this morning, and we have agreed that both Canada and the United States will temporarily restrict all non-essential travel across the Canada-U.S. border.
Both countries are eager to stop the spread of the virus, but also maintain their vital economic relationship. There is no timeline when this travel ban will be lifted, but trade will still happen. Passengers on a British cruise ship hit by cases of coronavirus disembarked in Cuba today to begin their journey home. The British cruise ship had been stranded for more than a week in the Caribbean after several cases were confirmed on board. The Braemars had been turned away from different ports before finally being allowed to port in Mariel. Passengers will return to Britain on 4 chartered flights. Anyone not considered well enough to fly will be offered support and medical treatment in Cuba.
The CEO of Delta Airlines says the company needs to hit the pause button. Delta now making even further cutbacks in service, reducing 70% of its capacity. The airline is parking half of its fleet now. Executives are taking pay cuts. The CEO says roughly 10,000 employees have offered to take voluntary leaves of absence. There was no mention of layoffs, but the memo did not rule out that possibility. City of North Miami Beach, Florida has announced a citywide curfew to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Officials say the curfew is in effect between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. and it affects all restaurants, bars, and clubs. That curfew will remain in effect until further notice. Officials warn that any violation of these emergency measures shall subject that individual to arrest and criminal prosecution. Same measures are not being placed, however, on all beaches in Florida. This is video from Daytona Beach today. Thousands of people soaking up the sun, taking a dip in the ocean, presumably spring breakers here. Florida Senator Marco Rubio was asked about that situation.
I think the hardest thing we're dealing with here is we are a highly individualistic society, and we're trying to convince Americans that we have to do something that may not be of direct benefit to you, but is of direct benefit to everyone.
So we are hearing a lot about the importance of social distancing for our physical health, but what does that do mentally? Our Keely Arthur shares why it takes a toll and how to combat it.
Charlotte, we want to stay physically distant but emotionally connected. That is the key here. So it's important to stay positive during these crazy times, and if we're alone, experts say that's really hard to do. Oftentimes when we are just with our thoughts, we can start to think really negative, even catastrophic things, according to UW mental health professionals, and that is what leads to depression and anxiety. So you really want to stay connected, and you can use technology to help. Things like Skype and FaceTime are great, and if you are stuck with family or even coworkers, keep a safe distance, but embrace the fact that you are near people.
Capitalize on it. Use the gift that you have of being physically present with other people. For families, I really would caution about, don't use this time to hole up in your individual rooms in the home. We all need to have some private and separate time, but it's also important that we have time together where we just talk about things and be with each other. Even if we're not talking about things, it might be that we're in the same room doing other things. That physical presence and being together is critically important.
Of course, be sure to keep a very safe distance, but again, you don't need to be around people to get that emotional support. Video chat, text, or a phone call work just fine. The key here is to connect however you can to pull yourself out of your own thoughts. Try to do that daily, and every once in a while, stop and take a deep breath. Charlotte?
Keely, thank you. The three top automakers in the U.S. are suspending production. Ford, Fiat, Chrysler, and General Motors plants will close due to the coronavirus outbreak. A Ford leader took to Twitter today to announce the company will cease production starting tomorrow evening. No word on when the plants might reopen.
All right, one small upside of this outbreak is entry to all national parks is now free. The Secretary of the Interior directing the National Park Service to stop collecting entrance fees. Park officials say they want stir-crazy citizens to be able to embrace nature and get out of their homes. Now, once inside, they'll still be asked to follow CDC guidelines when it comes to social distancing. As the world continues to grapple with coronavirus, the pandemic is having some unexpected side effects. In Venice, while the whole country is under lockdown as coronavirus continues to spread, locals have noticed that the water in the city's canals has become much clearer, with small fish even now visible swimming around.
Turning things over to weather now, we are keeping an eye on tomorrow because there is a chance for some severe weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has our first forecast.
Charlotte, it's the first day of astronomical spring, and a lot of times in spring you can see quick changes in the weather. We had some snow this morning, and tomorrow we have the possibility of severe weather. Tonight it's just some drizzle and fog. Visibility right now down to about 1 to 3 miles across much of southern Wisconsin in drizzle and light fog, but precipitation is so light, very little of it is even showing up on radar. It's mostly just some very light drizzle. The showers of rain and snow this morning have moved off to the east. The next batch of rain still hasn't shown up on radar to our south and west, but the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center does have us under a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from Madison southward and a marginal risk to the north of Madison. We do have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow for the potential for not only severe thunderstorms, but ones that could bring heavy rain. Can't even rule out an isolated tornado, although that threat is a little higher farther to our south and to our west. Otherwise, temperatures will hold nearly steady, right around 40 through the overnight hours, then start rising early tomorrow morning. Look for temperatures to jump up into the middle 50s by tomorrow evening with showers and some spring-like thunderstorms. And again, the potential is there for some severe weather. I'll have more details and weather in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Still ahead tonight at 10, we'll head downtown Madison for what has become the new normal amid the coronavirus crackdown.
Ashley Home Store is hosting a $500 million inventory blowout sale. Find mattress doorbusters up to 75% off. Like this 8-inch memory foam queen mattress, now just $249. Pay pennies on the dollar for the best brands while supplies last. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about coming together. It's families, friends. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Not just better, it's the best Outback ever. The new 2020 Subaru Outbacks are at Don Miller. You'll get the Outback Advantage with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and EyeSight driver assist technology. Now with the Subaru A Lot to Love event, lease the Outback Premium, $249 per month, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, no security deposit, $1949 due at signing, or choose 0.9% financing. The Outback at Don Miller Subaru, west on Odana or east side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
For 90 years, we have been at the center of the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on being helpful and doing whatever it takes for our customers. And while our country is experiencing challenging times, we believe we can get through this together. We are doing everything in our power to get you everything you need. Because of the unprecedented demand, there may be some items in this week's ad that you may not be able to find in our stores. We appreciate your patience and support as we work to get more supply. We also realize that now, more than ever, you need to save money. That's why you can count on us to still bring you hot deals and low prices, and you'll find those on Hy-Vee's social media pages and HyVeeDeals.com. And finally, to create a better working and shopping environment, we are shortening our store hours and will be open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., allowing us time to restock shelves and provide a clean, sanitized store. Our more than 80,000 helpful smiles are here, working tirelessly for you.
Furniture and Appliance Mart is hosting a massive appliance inventory blowout sale. Save up to 50% off appliances from LG, Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Plus no interest financing until fall. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart, inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
Hi, everyone. Thursday marks the first day of spring, and Hattie has a warm day in store for us. She'll have the latest first warn forecast.
And if you're struggling with working from home while also trying to parent, we'll have some advice. See you at 4:30.
Welcome back. People are doing something good in Milwaukee. Today, volunteers packed fresh food items from a truck into their trunks. The donation comes from the Pfister Hotel after events there were canceled. Now volunteers are delivering the food to food pantries and nonprofits.
We have a truck, obviously have the time because we're stuck at home.
One mom who is busy juggling her children who are home from school is also making time to help her neighbors. She's leaving notes in their mailboxes that she's ready to pitch in by doing grocery runs, making meals, or reaching out to those who just need some human connection.
Amid all the coronavirus developments, the feel of downtown Madison has drastically changed over the past week. Our photojournalist Lance Height spoke to some of the few people around the square this week about what has become a new temporary normal.
It is completely desolate. There's nobody out here right now.
It's just weird. It's quiet.
Very quiet.
It's different. It's empty. I mean, there's 3 people that I see on all of State Street. Far more quiet than what I was expecting.
We are here because we're really bored inside.
We just lived down the street, decided to take a walk because we can't go anywhere anymore.
It seems like the precursor to anarchism.
It's like how before a tornado hits and everything is empty, it feels cool, but then you're realizing that there's a tornado about to hit, so you're like, man, this isn't that cool.
Not sure if I like that tornado reference there. Some bumpy weather appears headed our way tomorrrow. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi with our first warn forecast. Gary.
A lot of it depends on the temperatures that we get to late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. There might be a warm front that makes it into southern Wisconsin. It gets temperatures up in the mid to upper 50s, and that would increase the severe weather threat. So we do have we have an alert day for severe weather for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Could be a few severe thunderstorms with high winds, hail, and heavy rain, the main threats, but an isolated tornado can't be ruled out in southern Wisconsin. The higher threat will be farther to our south and west in Iowa, where temperatures are more likely to make it up into the mid-50s to lower 60s. Visibility right now is the issue tonight. Just some drizzle and fog. Visibility is right now in the 1 to 3 mile range over much of southern Wisconsin. I don't expect them to get much lower than this, with temperatures actually starting to rise a little bit later on tonight. But precipitation is very, very light. Every once in a while you see a little sprinkle of rain there, and that's pretty much it. So we can't rule out an isolated shower. Most of it will just be fog and drizzle. The next batch of showers and thunderstorms still off the map to the south and west. The rain and snow that we had this morning has moved off to the east. We had a couple of inches of accumulation over much of Dane County in the central part of our viewing area, but then that melted during the day. Now tomorrow, as those temperatures warm up, the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from Madison southward, an enhanced risk over much of Iowa, and a marginal risk north of Madison. As far as the actual threats, probably the biggest one will be high winds from fast-moving thunderstorms. The highest threat across Iowa, with lesser threats into southern Wisconsin and even lesser threats farther to the north of Madison. Hail could also be an issue as well. Hail up to about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter. And again, the tornado probability, while not zero, still pretty low over southern Wisconsin. The higher tornado threat is more likely to be over much of central and southeastern Iowa. Rain is also an issue because that could lead to flooding. The ground is saturated, and we could be looking at an additional 1 to 1.5 inches of rain through early Friday morning. Some areas could pick up locally 2 inches of rain if you get caught underneath a heavier thunderstorm. On the northern side of the storm, a swath of about 3 to 6 inches of snow possible from Minnesota into northwestern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan, with some isolated higher amounts. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast: fog, drizzle, a few showers overnight, showers and thunderstorms, especially tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and then we turn windy and colder with the showers mixing with snow by early on Friday morning before they come to an end. Tonight, the action that we're watching is down here in the southwestern part of the country. It's going to ride a very strong jet stream to the north and east. We're on that temperature contrast zone where the warmer weather's to our south, the colder weather's to our north, and right now there's a stationary front that kind of divides those two air masses. Notice the high temperatures today, 60s and 70s south of that front, only around 40 here in southern Wisconsin. We should warm up to the point where the potential is there for severe weather by late tomorrow afternoon. So for tomorrow, cloudy, showers, perhaps some thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. That high of 56 might be tomorrow evening before the temperatures start to drop. And again, rain rainfall amounts over southern Wisconsin, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches generally, with some higher amounts. By the time the tail end of the storm comes around, some light snow, perhaps 1 inch or less, north and west of Madison Friday morning. 7 to 10 day forecast, a chilly weekend, highs only mid-30s Saturday and low 40s Sunday, and then we see temperatures back slightly above normal for much of next week. We'll see some shower chances Monday night into Tuesday, thunderstorms Thursday that will end on Friday morning.
Okay, so the spring is really coming in.
Right on schedule and with the potential for severe weather.
Flexing some muscle tomorrow. All right, Gary, I'll keep an eye on things for us. Still ahead tonight, as coronavirus concerns impact small businesses across the country, we'll show you how some distilleries not only staying open, but slowing the spread.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save at Wild East Town Honda on over 400 new Hondas. Lease a new all-wheel drive CR-V for only $239. Just $239 at Wild East Town Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At SHOPKO Optical, your eyes are everything to us too. Which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're SHOPKO Optical. You'll see.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Pick and Save, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
Get more help with your laundry at the laundry cleanup sale now at the Brothers Maine. Save time and money with the latest in laundry from Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana with 0% financing for up to 18 months. Get even more help with free delivery on washer-dryer pairs and a risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee. That's why we're the More Store. It's the laundry cleanup sale with more selection, more savings, and more help with your laundry. Only at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
4 days only, Friday through Monday. Take an extra 30% off all clearance items. Plus, our lowest finance offer ever. Look at what just $10 a month will get you when you spend $5.99. But act fast, it won't last long. Pay no interest for 5 years when you spend $5.99 or more. A classy bedroom set, all 4 pieces, only $10 a month. Plus, take an extra 30% off all clearance items. And get free shipping with no minimum, and most items can be in your home in a week. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
When their cry is a different kind of cry.
When you know they're sick, but are afraid to know how sick they really are.
That's when you want answers.
When you need answers. Because when it's your child, your baby, it's different.
This is where you'll find doctors unlike any other doctors, where we treat the untreatable and conquer the seemingly unconquerable. UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Save at Wild East Town Honda on over 400 new Hondas. Lease a new all-wheel drive Pilot with leather and sunroof for only $329. Just $329 at Wild East Town Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Welcome back. Hy-Vee is joining a growing list of stores setting up special hours for older customers. Today, the company says in response to customer requests, it will be reserving 1 hour of shopping time prior to its new opening time each day for customers considered high risk. The reserved hour will be from 7 to 8 a.m., 7 days a week, and is designed for customers ages 60 and older, expectant mothers, and anyone with an underlying health condition.
YMCA of Dane County announces it is is launching programs at 7 locations throughout the county to provide free daily meals to children and adults. Children 18 years old and younger in Sun Prairie are eligible to receive 2 free meals per day at these locations in Sun Prairie. It'll provide 100 meals Monday through Friday. And for adults, especially seniors, they will be eligible to receive meals through the YMCA's Drive-Up Meal Program. Those are available at these locations, and they say 125 meals will be available each day. Madison Teachers, Inc., the group that represents Madison teachers, announced today it is donating $50,000 to the COVID-19 Madison Community Assistance Fund set up by the United Way. The release also said that available MTI members will be volunteering to help with food delivery, child care for emergency workers, and staffing food pantries.
The ripple effect from the coronavirus is being felt as restaurants, stores, and bars close all across the country. But some businesses are improvising. Distilleries around the country, including Yahara Bay in Madison, are shifting from distributing spirits to sanitizers. Skylar Henry reports.
So I'm looking around the space. The fallout from the coronavirus is becoming a reality for Jonathan Scher.
You guys have 40, 50 people here on any given day.
That's right. Some nights we get pretty busy. Obviously not anymore, so we've had to be creative. Think about something else we can do to help ourselves and the community.
You all chosen hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer, that's right. That's right next door.
Scher and his boss are facing pressures like other small businesses around the country. State-mandated coronavirus concerns closed their Twin Valley Distillery in Montgomery County, Maryland. Stools from the tasting room are up, and the space is empty.
Right now, we're completely shut down. I mean, we're working half days just to keep things moving around, but if we have to shut down, we have to stop making everything.
Instead of letting the gallons of alcohol in the distillery go to waste, these are their first batches of hand sanitizer, a blend of oils and proof alcohol that the business is selling to not only keep themselves busy, but contribute to the greater good.
At first, it was an idea of, okay, how can we keep the ship afloat in the meantime? Then we realized it was a little bigger than that.
The two say it's a call to action at a time when store shelves in the area and nationwide are scarce on hand sanitizer and other cleaning supplies.
My mother is in a very, very high-risk group because of her age and her physical condition, and she happens to live with me now, so I literally will sanitize everything I touch.
It's caught the attention of government officials who are considering buying batches to help slow the spread of the virus.
It's not anything that we've ever done before, not anything we planned for before about 4 or 5 days ago. So we've been sort of learning on the fly.
And while they realized they could stand to profit off of the in-demand solution, they're focused on getting as much sanitizer out to people as possible because they say we're all in this together.
Thank you again for doing this.
Skylar Henry, CBS News, Rockville, Maryland.
The small business says for the shops who can stay open, now is as important a time as ever to get creative and think about ways to not only keep themselves busy and help the community, but keep each other safe. We'll be right back.
Just imagine yourself in the stylish all-new Highlander.
Yeah. And with today's parade expected to draw thousands.
That's right.
For traffic delays downtown. Up next to check on sports.
Time for a little razzle-dazzle.
Right now, during the Ready, Set, Go sales event, you can get $750 TFS APR cash when you finance an all-new 2020 Toyota Highlander.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Your business is your pride and joy. You raised it with hard work, from nothing but a dream. And since you care so much, naturally you want to protect it from harm. That's where we come in. Because a great insurance policy is not a necessary evil. It's the best way to keep your business happy, healthy, and profitable. And that is the silver lining. Pamper your business with a policy from West Bend.
Listen, I love to grill, but we don't always have time. Go get them. That's when Johnsonville Flame Grilled Sausage is perfect. Tastes grilled because Johnsonville already grilled it. So you get that famous Johnsonville flavor any night of the week.
For the first time ever, Ashley Home Store, the #1 retailer of furniture and mattresses in the USA, is hosting a nationwide $500 million inventory blowout sale. Find doorbusters up to 75% off store-wide while they last. Plus, on top of our already low sale prices, take 3 years to pay with no interest financing, even on clearance and smart buy items. Get historic mattress deals on the best brands. This is the biggest nationwide furniture and mattress sale ever to hit the U.S. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
You
wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else, so why accept it from your allergy pills? Flonase relieves your worst symptoms, which most pills don't. Get all-in-one allergy relief for 24 hours with Flonase.
When the food you love doesn't love you back, stay smooth and fight heartburn fast with Tums smoothies.
It's Ford Truck Month, and if this is your kind of day, and this is your kind of truck, then this is your month. Ford Truck Month. Now, get great deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 43 years.
Like a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 months. Or you can lease one for just $239 a month.
Russian intruders are making their moves on social media to disrupt U.S. elections.
This blurry distinction between foreign and domestic groups pose a lot of challenges to tech platforms.
Can they be stopped? News 3 Now investigates Thursday at 10. This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
Remember, severe weather threat tomorrow, especially tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Highest threat from Madison southward. Tonight, some fog, reducing visibility to about a mile, to 3 miles. And then rain also potential with up to an inch to an inch and a half through tomorrow night.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinan.
This is Sunshine Week, the annual observance of the importance of open government to our democracy and our fundamental freedoms. And this week, the message is as vital and necessary as ever. Every reporter, photographer, editor, and manager at News 3 Now and all members of the WISC editorial board are working as hard as we can to give you the most accurate, timely, useful information we can about this pandemic. We are aware of the balance needed between the unflinching presentation of the facts and the tone of the message. This is not hype. This is real, it's honest, and it is gathered and presented with every bit of professional skill and integrity we possess. But we are dependent on government leaders to be honest and open with us. Obvious and total transparency is essential to trust. As news media, we promise that to you. We require and demand it of our public officials. It's your right to know, and that couldn't be more important than right now.